Hi, I'm Logan Lilja.
And I'm Alex McDaniel, and welcome to the very first episode of Terror Talks.
So today's first episode, we're going to ask each other what our favorite horror movies is. And in this episode, we're going to go with Alex. Alex, what are your top three favorite horror movies?
That's kind of it's a tough question because you have all the different kinds of horror movies. You have your paranormal, you have your slashers, you have your like jump scare movies. But out of all of the horror movies I've watched, number one will always and forever be the Saw franchise because they always pick up exactly where that last movie left off. And with the newer ones bringing more into John Kramer's backstory, you get to know more about him and all that and like why he kind of got into it. Whereas before that, all you really knew was that his unborn kid died and he had cancer.
And he got in a car crash and almost died.
Yeah.
There's like three different backstories.
Yeah. And that made like the car crash made him appreciate life more than anyone, and then he just got payback on people that don't appreciate their lives. So that Saw will always and forever be number one. I don't think any franchise really has left off.
I think it would be funny if John Kramer put somebody in a trap just because he jaywalked. Because he was depressed and he just jaywalked.
I could see him doing that. I mean, it's something I'd see him doing.
Yeah.
Another really good one, but not top three, is, you like your basics: Friday the 13th, Halloween, Chucky, Nightmare on Elm Street. They're all good, except for they're too overplayed, and everyone just says those, and like you see them way too much for them to be your favorite.
Yeah.
In my opinion.
And speaking of Halloween, the day we're recording this is Halloween.
Yeah. Which today would be like the perfect day to watch Halloween, which I probably will later.
I did already.
Yeah, I need to watch a few of them. I've watched most of them besides Halloween 3. I've watched it once. That was it. I don't understand Halloween 3.
I like Halloween 3 was a good movie, and like John Carpenter, he wanted to do like an anthology series, kind of like Creepshow or the Crypt Keeper, or the Tales of the Crypt, I think it's called. And like I would have loved to see what else he would have done, which he kind of did do that in his comic series, John Carpenter's comic series, the Tales to Tell on Halloween or something like that.
Yeah. I don't know. It's just Halloween 3 doesn't fit in. It's obviously the oddball out. It doesn't even have Michael Myers in it. I feel like it's a good movie, except for it doesn't need to be called Halloween 3. Yeah. It needs a different title.
If it was just Season of the Witch, it would have been fine.
Yeah, that would have been the perfect title for it. But they threw in the Halloween 3 in front of it, and it's not Halloween. Without Michael Myers and Laurie Strode, it's not a Halloween movie.
Yeah. And then you had Halloween Ends with Corey and Michael, I don't know, putting his essence into Corey. That movie was bonkers.
Yeah, and then the remake, the 2007 remake, I actually really like because it makes Michael so much more scarier than he already is. Because he's so big. He has all that long hair covering his face. Mm-hmm. It makes him so much more scarier and so much more stronger.
The remake made Jason also so terrifying.
Yeah, Jason was
sprinting at you is a terrifying sight.
And like teleporting behind you, like that is terrifying. You see, like, how tall is he? Like 6'4" maybe.
Let's see. Okay, so one of the main actors in it, Jared Padalecki, he's like 6'4", and the Jason towered over him, so he's like almost 7 feet.
Yeah, almost 7 feet tall. You see that man sprinting at you. There's nothing you're doing. You're sitting there and accepting fate.
You just have to pray for a quick death.
You might pee yourself, but you're accepting fate. There's nothing you're doing, whether you pee your pants or not. And like the same with Michael. Michael doesn't sprint though. That's the thing. Even in
Yeah.
the remakes, he'll still just walk after you. But you still see that guy walking after you. If you're trapped in a corner, you're peeing yourself and you're dead.
Yeah.
There's nothing. There's no escape. You're sitting there. Then you have like Freddy, who,
You just got
he's not scary. The movies are good though. He's just not scary.
I think I only have two favorite Nightmare on Elm Streets, and that would be 1 and Wes Craven's New Nightmare.
Yeah, the first one was amazing. I love that movie so much, but
I mean, Nightmare 3, that one wasn't bad, but I wouldn't say it's one of my favorite horror movies.
yeah. And like with Freddy, all you have to do really is just not fall asleep. Like if you stay awake, you're going to be perfectly fine.
Or just don't believe in him.
Yeah.
And because like that was the whole thing with like Freddy versus Jason. It's
Yeah.
like nobody believed in him anymore. So
Yeah.
we had to bring Jason back from hell to like
Had Jason do killings for him until
yeah,
people
so-
believed it
so-
was Freddy.
So people think it's Freddy, and then so he could get his power and then get absolutely messed up by Jason.
Yeah. Which Freddy versus Jason wasn't bad, except for the fact that it wasn't really Freddy versus
There's,
Jason.
There's like 20 minutes of Freddy versus Jason. The
Not
rest of it
even
is-
that.
Yeah, I know it's the final like 15 minutes. Of
Yeah.
and it's a good 15 minutes.
But
Because it's-
Jason doesn't even kill Freddy, though. That's the thing that
Yeah.
also...
Because they set up for the sequel, which didn't happen in movie, but they came out with it in comics. Like, there was Freddy versus Jason versus Ash. And Ash sitting over there with as much plot armor as
John Wick.
John Wick and somehow beating both of them.
Yeah, I don't understand that. A normal dude beating a zombie and a dream demon.
Well, I mean, technically, in the Evil Dead series, he's like the chosen like warrior or whatever.
I mean, yeah, but he has a chainsaw hand.
He has a chainsaw hand and a dream.
Yeah,
and somehow that works.
And a shotgun. That's...
Yeah.
I mean, technically, though, if we're being technical, I feel like Ash could also win that if he uses the Necronomicon.
Yeah.
Because the Necronomicon has, like, all those demons and stuff that would
like-
just demolish Freddy and Jason.
Because in the comics, that's how they set up Freddy bringing Jason back, was using the Necronomicon.
Yeah.
And then, like, which I'm just learning that there's a sequel to Ash versus Freddy versus Jason, and I have no idea what that's about. I bet that's even better.
Oh, God. Ash vs. Evil is another really good movie franchise, except for the second one just rewrites the ending, kind of rewrites the whole first movie
Yeah.
by just saying that it was him and his girlfriend.
Yeah,
There.
instead of his whole group.
Yeah, and then in Ash vs. Evil Dead, it goes back to that idea that they were there with his sister because his sister died there
yeah,
too.
his sister became a Deadite, and then she kind of comes back in the TV series.
Yeah.
And I think the Evil Dead remake is the only remake that I like more than the original.
Yeah, honestly, no, the remakes will never live up to the original except for Ash vs. Evil.
Like, and then like Evil Dead Rise came out, and they made like a new story where, like, it's a part of the canon series now, because like they talked about the Necronomicon being split up into 3 parts. You got the one that Ash was dealing with, the one in the remake, and then the one that they dealt with in Evil Dead Rises, which
Yeah.
Evil Dead Rise is another great movie.
Yeah, that movie surprised me with how good it was. I wasn't expecting it to be as good as it was, because, when they make those remakes, they're not usually as good as the others, or, like recent horror movies haven't been too terribly good. A lot of them kind of...
Yeah, I think my favorite that have come out in the past years was Smile.
I haven't watched those, but they
Smile's
do look good.
Really good. And then Smile 2 just came out, and I like it more than the original.
Yeah. Get Out was another good one that I've watched.
Mhm.
I just think of, 1980s racist Alabama, because that movie, it just instantly makes you think racist, because it's a bunch of white people trying to
Yeah.
get that one black dude out of there. So
Yeah.
it just makes me think full racist, Southern America, 1980s or whatever.
Yeah, but I'm pretty sure
1880s.
that's what they were going for. But they did it so well.
Yeah.
And, like, um, I can't remember who directed. I think it was Jordan Peele, because then he did Us, which was Us wasn't bad, but it's not one of my favorites. And then you had Nope, which I know a lot of people like Nope, but I didn't really care for it.
Yeah, I've only seen a little bit of Nope, and I haven't seen Us, but I need to watch them. But I Jordan Peele, I love him. He's done a lot of things,
I
and
I think one of my favorite like horror directors so far is James Wan, because he did Saw, he did The Conjuring, Insidious.
yeah, and
I
I've
I can't remember. I think he did some of the DC movies too. I think he did Aquaman and Shazam,
hmm,
which I mean those aren't great movies, but
yeah,
his horror he does really good with the horror movies.
yeah. I've never watched a single Conjuring or Nun movie or whatever you want to call them. Or Annabelle. I haven't watched a single one of those yet because they're like I put them in my watch later list. I'm gonna watch these later. Later never comes, and then they like whether it be like Netflix or Peacock or something, it leaves there, and then I have to wait for it to come back or buy it or rent it on Amazon. So I just never have gotten to watching any of them.
Yeah. So you said your most favorite was Saw. What would
Yeah.
you say your second favorite would be?
Number two, I think it's a little overplayed, but it's still really good in my opinion. Obviously, my second favorite is Scream
Oh yeah.
because I don't know, I love that idea of him like stalking you and calling you, making you paranoid and all that. I love that, and Scream does it so well. I
I think Scream is one of the only horror film series that I like all of the sequels except 3 got a little out of hand.
Yeah,
for
three
me.
three was iffy, and 4 was I don't like 4. 4 is my least favorite.
I can see that, but and then with 7 coming out hopefully soon, all of them had Nev Campbell or Sidney Prescott except for 6, and she's supposedly coming. I think she announced that she's back in 7, and there's a lot of theories going around that Matthew Lillard, one of the killers in the first one, is going to be back in it, which I personally don't like, but I'm open to the idea.
Yeah, I just don't see how he survives though.
Yeah, he got stabbed multiple times.
A
He was
TV
feeling
dropped on
woozy
him.
there.
Yeah, he had a TV dropped on him
Yeah,
too.
so
I don't see how he's surviving that, but I mean, if he can and he makes a comeback, and if they do it well, easily going to be one of the greatest movies of all
Yeah.
time.
because I love Matthew Lillard.
Oh yeah.
Because what's all he? I know he was in the new Five Nights at Freddy's movie,
Scooby.
He's Shaggy, and then he's in 13 Ghosts, which are some pretty good movies.
Every time I see Matthew Lillard, I'm like, hey, look, it's Shaggy. Oh, Shaggy's killing
Oh
someone.
no, Shaggy's killing children.
Yeah. It's another really good one. I like the original with Tim Curry, but Bill Skarsgård made Pennywise so much
yeah.
better in those remakes. He's the greatest actor they could have had for him because of that. He makes his eyes go lazy, all that drool and all that.
Yeah.
Perfect actor.
I love that movie, and there was another movie he was in, I think a few years ago, I think 2 years ago. It was called oh man, what was it called? But it took place this woman was renting an Airbnb, and there was another guy who was also in the Airbnb because it was listed, but none of them said that the rent was taken. And so Bill Skarsgård played the other guy, and they were making it look like he was gonna be the bad guy, but then I think 20 minutes in and he's dead, and there's this weird creature thing in the basement, and then it's a really good movie.
Yeah.
I can't remember the title though.
Yeah. I got Long Legs I need to watch because I remember you were talking about it and you said it was good, so I need to watch that.
I think Longlegs is the only psychological horror movie that has actually messed with my head.
Yeah. Another good one is A Quiet Place.
Mm-hmm.
I one or two are my favorites. A day one or whatever it's called is good. It's not my favorite. One or two, it's between them two.
I really liked Day One, and like the entire movie, I was just like, please don't let the cat die. And the cat was just getting in all these like the worst situation that the cat could have gotten in. So the both main characters are having to like risk their lives to save this cat.
Winnie the Pooh, the Blood and Honey, those were amazing. Like, I loved those, and I can't wait for them to release more with the whole Pooniverse thing.
Pooniverse is hilarious.
With Bambi and Pinocchio, and I think they're making a third one for Blood and Honey, which I'm curious to see.
Yeah, I love all these like low budget like horror movies. Like you had The Grinch, or the Mean One, I think it was called. That just came out.
The Wonka with Nicolas Cage.
Oh yeah.
Willy's Wonderland or whatever it was called.
Yeah, Willy's Wonderland. That kind of, it's basically it's Five Nights at Freddy's knockoff, and it's basically just Nicolas Cage versus Five Nights at Freddy's, and it's hilarious.
Yeah, then you have the Steamboat Willie one.
Oh god. There's multiple coming out, and the one that is already out on Peacock, the Mousetrap, it was so bad. It wasn't even like so bad it's funny. It was just bad.
What's another good one that I've watched?
You got the Terrifier series.
Yeah, Terrifier is my number 3 favorite. I love the first one. Doesn't really have a plot, but it's still really good, and I love how the character from the first one comes back in the second one, and I think probably the third one. I haven't seen it yet.
Back. I saw the third one not too long ago.
I'm talking about the main girl.
Oh, the main.
The one girl that gets her face messed up.
Oh yeah. She comes back in the third one.
Yeah, I haven't watched the third one yet. I need to.
If you're the least bit of squeamish, skip that movie because oh my gosh.
All the blood and gore. The second one with the cereal, with all that stuff.
Oh yeah, like the
clown cafe.
And then you have the infamous bedroom scene.
Yeah.
And like every kill in the third one is like 10 times worse than that bedroom scene. It's just messed up.
Oh god. Yeah, I need to watch the third one, but Terrifier is definitely my third favorite just because Art the Clown, they did him so well. The makeup and all that.
I think the best part of Art is that he doesn't talk.
Mm-hmm.
And like there's one messed up scene in the movie. Or I think he did it in the second one too. But like in the second one, there's this grieving mother that has just watched that is seeing her child all mangled up, and Art's just sitting there like doing that like crying motion with his hands on his eyes, and it's just so messed up.
Oh god. Have you seen Benny Loves You?
Yes.
With that little doll or the stuffed animal that doesn't leave or whatever. That was actually surprisingly good. I wasn't expecting it to be as good.
I'm shocked it was made because it was made mostly by one guy. He wrote the script, he edited it, he did everything, and like the only cast was his close friends and family. And like there was one part where it was like a bloody kill scene. And they had to make sure they didn't get blood on any of the walls because it was his best friend's house.
That's a lot of work. But Benny Loves You was really good, surprisingly. And that poor dog. The poor dog.
I feel like pets don't usually get a good outcome in horror movies.
No.
You got Halloween.
Yeah, I've only seen Halloween, really, where a dog gets hurt.
I know I've seen it a bunch, and it's always sucks.
Yeah. Because that's one thing you never expect to happen, and you don't want to happen. Because everyone loves dogs and animals and all that.
And then you have. I also like the movies with like the shocking endings. Like you got like Scream, where they do that little fake out where Billy fakes his death.
Yeah, they always have the killer, like
come back for
yeah.
one more scare. And some of the really good fake out ones I've seen is like Hereditary. That one has a really good ending. And then you have crap, I can't remember some of them, but I love it when you think everything's gonna be okay, and then it just takes a turn. Like,
yeah.
Like the first Smile movie, where since you didn't see it, I don't really want to spoil it, but you think everything's gonna be okay, but in less than a second, it just hits the fan, and
like Black Christmas,
yeah,
you think that one dude that's down in the basement, trying to find that girl or whatever her name was, you think he's the killer. No, he's not. She killed the wrong dude, and they don't realize it. The dude's just still in the attic.
Or you got like Halloween H2O, when Michael puts his mask on some other guy.
Yeah,
so when Laurie decapitates him, it's not Michael.
Yeah, crushed his voice box too, so he couldn't talk, that's really smart on Michael's part.
Alex is sitting there writing notes.
You gotta take those mental notes.
And then, there's some fantastic horror movies.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of some more really good horror movies. Amityville Horror, those. I love the one with Ryan Reynolds. That one is absolutely amazing.
I think that's probably the only good one, because you got the original ones with like 25 sequels or whatever the number was, and they're more like crazier than the last one.
Yeah, but the one with Ryan Reynolds isn't the best just because of Ryan Reynolds. It's because like I love how they showed like whatever his name was, the DeFeo Jr. actually like go into the rooms and all that. They showed like what actually happened there.
Yeah.
And then they show, in the basement when Ryan's down there.
And then like he's slowly losing his mind until the finale, when he finally snaps.
Yeah, hearing the house tell them to catch him and kill him.
Yeah.
Catch them all, kill him or whatever.
Just a normal day when your house is telling you to kill your kids.
Yeah, when you hide coffins, perfect for everybody in the house.
Yeah.
What's another? Oh, Texas Chainsaw. That's a really good one. I think that one would be my number 4. I love Texas Chainsaw.
Yeah, the Texas Chainsaw series. There's so many remakes, but a lot of them are actually pretty good.
Yeah, the one. Oh, which one is? I think it's the second one, where they're. Might not be the second one. It's the one where the hitchhiker is kind of like has the bald.
No, yeah, that's 2.
Yeah, I hate.
Top.
Yeah, I hate that one. And then.
Really?
Yeah, I don't.
Chop Top.
And then is that the same one where they have their place in the amusement park?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And, there's that ending where the girl
chainsaw
finds like grandma in the. I don't know. It's been a while since I've seen that.
Yeah, and the dude with the 2 chainsaws or whatever, and the officer.
The crazy sheriff trying to hunt down the Leatherface and the Sawyer family.
Yeah, I that one movie I didn't care for. The rest are actually really good and amazing.
Yeah. I know the newest one on like Netflix. That one could have been better.
Yeah.
But I like how they were trying to do like, Halloween 2018 or Scream 5, when like the final girl finally comes back to face her killer, and like she just gets messed up immediately. Like she has like 5 minutes on screen, and most of those are just her getting killed by Leatherface.
Yeah. That one was, I wasn't expecting it to be that good, but it was actually really good. What's another really good horror movie, or another good horror movie?
I know you have, like, I like, and then not necessarily just horror movies, but some horror video games are like really good.
Oh yeah. You know, most notably, Dead by Daylight. I love that game. Love-hate relationship, actually. you
Like,
know.
some of the story-based horror games, like Resident Evil or Silent Hill.
You know, the Resident Evil, I was, them like making the movies for Resident Evil, I would expect them to actually be good.
Yeah,
They're
the Resident
not.
Evil movies aren't great, and
No.
then because like they have that one series where it's that woman, I can't remember what her name was.
Yeah.
But that film, I liked some of them, but I don't really care for the series. And then you have that newest one, Raccoon City, I think.
I haven't seen that.
Me neither, but I haven't heard good things about it.
Yeah.
And then you have the Silent Hill film series, which there's only two.
Oh, I love Silent Hill. Silent Hill's number 5 for me, though.
The first movie I really enjoyed, and the second movie is just like, what is going on?
I loved both of them. I can't wait for... They're making another one, and I can't wait for that.
Is it
like,
a third one in this in the series, or is it a remake?
I'm not for sure. I only heard that they were making another Silent Hill. I just haven't done that much more research on it, but I'm so excited. I love the Silent Hill movies. They are so good. They did Pyramid Head so good.
Yeah, it's interesting because like Pyramid Head didn't show up until the second game, and he's not really all there in the series that much, but he's such an iconic horror villain.
Mm-hmm. He's in Dead by Daylight too, and
Yeah.
that's really cool.
Uh,
Do you know the Ghostface in Dead by Daylight is like the strongest Ghostface?
really?
Yeah, technically, because he killed people in multiple states. He's done all that and run from the cops. And
So basically, he's the only Ghostface that hasn't been caught and killed.
basically, and he's the only one that hasn't done it in What's that place called?
Woodsboro.
Woodsbury? Yeah, he's the only one that hasn't done it there. Well, besides the TV series.
Oh, that is true.
There's somewhere else. I don't remember where they are, but the TV series was actually really good.
I liked the first 2 seasons, but the third one, how they just took that massive shift.
Yeah.
I liked the first 2 seasons a lot more than I liked the third one.
Yeah, and I kind of wish that in the third season they would have brought back the characters from season 1 or season 2 that survived,
Yeah.
But I understand that they went off to college, but you can have them go on like summer break, spring break, whatever, and have them go back to
like
wherever.
At the end, the last episode of the second series, where everything's all wrapped up and they went on this vacation, and they accidentally stumble upon another serial killer.
Yeah. Was it the end of season 2 or the end of season 3 where that one broke into the prison and killed Kieran? It was season 2, right?
That was season 2. That was like...
I want to know...
They went nowhere with that.
I know. I want to know who that was, because if you're able to break into a maximum security prison...
Yeah, exactly.
You have to be insane.
And then, I hate it when they do that. When TV shows, a lot of times horror TV shows, they give you such a shocking ending, but then the series gets canceled and you have no idea what's to go on. Like Ash vs. Evil Dead.
I was gonna say Ash vs. Evil Dead.
The Chucky TV series, which I loved so much, and I'm so sad that they canceled it.
Yeah, I love Chucky. I don't know. I like the first one. I don't know.
Yeah, I definitely like the original trilogy more than Seed and Bride.
Yeah, they were all good. I like the Chucky that has more scars, because I feel like I've seen that one more, and I feel like that one shows you that he's been through more and that he's not as weak as he looks. He's actually a lot stronger.
Yeah, it's like like people are always just like, oh, why would you be scared of Chucky? All you have to do is like punt him, and that's not always true because they showed in the TV series that the whole voodoo spell he did, he gains the strength of like an adult male.
Yeah. Yeah, Chucky's just one of those that you think's not gonna be strong, but is actually a lot stronger than you think.
And he always comes back. Because,
Yeah,
oh my god.
you gotta go for the heart. The heart.
Even if you go for the heart, it still doesn't work because like there was in season 2 of the TV show they tried to exorcise Charles Lee Ray, and the priest just explodes. It's so.
I haven't seen the Chucky TV series, but I might have to watch it after that.
It's so good. Like the first season was like actually like horror and like it stayed to like the scary basis, and then you got season 2 where it was just like went into horror comedy, and same with the third season.
Yeah. The Pope's Exorcist, I watched that, and that one,
Really
yeah, that was really good.
I like a lot of Russell Crowe horror films because like a couple years later he came out with Russell Crowe was in another like Exorcist movie, but he wasn't it had nothing to do with the Pope's Exorcist.
Mm-hmm.
But and then he wasn't like an actual priest. He was like playing one in the movie and showed him like how he needed to like train and like be like it was just very harsh method acting basically.
Yeah. Silence of the Lambs, that is really good. And there's another movie that's like in the same. Oh, it's.
You got the Red Dragon
Yeah,
is the first one.
Yeah, I watched the Red Dragon. That one was actually really good, and I've watched Silence of the Lambs.
Silence of the Lambs is probably in my either top 3 or top 5. I absolutely love Anthony Hopkins.
Yeah. Silence of the Lambs was so good.
Yeah, it really was.
Is there any other good movies? Any good horror movies or games?
I mean, you have like some of my favorite horror games to play are like the your choice games. Like you have The Quarry.
Casting of Frank Stone.
Casting of Frank Stone, which recently came out and is a part of the Dead by Daylight
universe, yeah.
And then there's a really good series. It's an anthology. It's called the Dark Pictures Anthology. And I've played all 4, and because they kind of do like a seasons game, and there's 4 per each season. I'm really excited because the second season should be starting soon.
Mm-hmm.
But some of those games I loved, and the 4th one is probably my favorite. It was called The Devil in Me, and it was like it's based off of a serial killer, probably like I think it was America's first H.H. Holmes. That's who it was, who is like the first like American serial killer.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I have some of those. I haven't played them yet though. I've been playing a lot of Dead by Daylight. Cause that game, it's like you have like Texas Chainsaw Massacre the game. You have the Ash vs Evil Dead game. You have the Killer Clowns from Outer Space game.
I was so excited for the Killer Clowns
from
Outer Space game, but it flopped so fast.
All 3 of those games died so fast and so hard because of one specific game in general, Dead by Daylight. You can play as Leatherface, you can play as Ash. At some point, I guarantee you're going to be able to play as the Killer Clowns from Outer Space.
Probably. And like, the Evil Dead game is one of my favorite, like, PvP horror games because like that one, like with Dead by Daylight, it's very killer sided.
Yeah, it's one-sided, but
with like the Evil Dead the game, you're actually able to fight back and like kill deadites.
Friday the 13th, that was another one. the
yeah,
game.
Oh,
That one died.
that one I need to start playing again because it's gonna be shut down at the end of the year.
I thought they already shut it down.
No, not yet, but they're about to.
Yeah, so they can get other licenses and stuff for Jason, so he can go into Dead by Daylight soon.
Yeah, he's. I think that's probably where he's going next. It's just, I know he's in this, like
Multiverses.
Multiverses. The Warner Brothers.
Smash Bros.
Smash Bros. And like you got Beetlejuice in it and Shaggy.
Yeah, you have
It's the
people that
only
don't
game where
belong.
you can fight Jason as Shaggy.
Yeah.
It's hilarious.
I never got to playing that because I don't like it.
Yeah, I've played a little bit, and I wish it was a little bit better. I wish there was a little more to the game, but you know.
Yeah. You can't ask for too much.
Yeah. And it's Jason's first appearance in how many years?
Yeah. Well, Dead by Daylight's next license killer is in March, I think. So
maybe we'll get Jason.
I'm curious to see who it's gonna be because no one's leaked anything on it yet, but they leaked that Five Nights at Freddy's will be coming to the game at some point. I think, if I remember right.
Yeah, there's a whole like Five Nights at Freddy's. There was this whole like for their 10th anniversary, I think. They had a week of like big news, and one of the news was a mystery collab. And I know like almost everybody was talking about it being Fortnite, but it ended up being Dead by Daylight, which I could not be more happier about.
Yeah. What's another good one? Have you played Those Who Remain?
I've not.
It's actually a really good one. I don't know, it's hard to explain, but it's like if you have to have the lights on, otherwise these dark figures appear and they'll kill you. And
that's fun.
I can't remember. I haven't completely finished the game, but I do remember that it's like I can't remember if it was a mother or a daughter that died and basically caused the whole thing to happen. Well, no, it's your character got into a car crash that killed some lady who's now a big monster that chases you during some of the. She's a big monster that'll chase you during some of the, whatever you want to call them.
Chasing.
Whatever, yeah. And then I think it's either a mother or daughter, I don't remember, who died that basically caused the whole thing to happen.
Yeah.
And pretty much outside is all dark unless you have light that's outside. So it's actually pretty good. It's a little confusing in some of the little bits you don't know where to go because it doesn't give you too much to go on. But it is a nice little game.
Well, I think that's all for our first episode.
I think so, yeah.
Well,
I've been Alex McDaniel.
and I've been Logan Lilja.
And you've been watching Terror Talks.
Good enough.